This is what the Lord God says to Tyre. The countries along the Mediterranean coast will shake at the sound of your fall. That will happen when your people are hurt and killed. Then all the leaders of the countries by the sea will step down from their thrones and show their sadness. They will take off their special robes and their beautiful clothes. Then they will put on their clothes of shaking. They will sit on the ground and shake with fear. They will be shocked at how quickly you were destroyed. They will sing this sad song about you. Tyre, you were a famous city. People came from across the sea to live in you. You were famous, but now you are gone. You were strong on the sea, and so were the people who lived in you. You made all who live on the mainland afraid of you. Now, on the day you fall, the countries along the coast will shake with fear. You started many colonies along the coast. Now those people will be afraid when you are gone. This is what the Lord God says. Tyre, you will become an old, empty city. No one will live there. I will cause the sea to flow over you. The great sea will cover you. I will send you down into that deep hole, to the place of death. You will join those who died long ago. I will send you to the world below, like all the other old, empty cities. You will be with all the others who go down to the grave. No one will live in you then. You will never again be in the land of the living. Other people will be afraid about what happened to you. You will be finished. People will look for you, but they will never find you again. That is what the Lord God says. The word of the Lord came to me again. He said, Son of man, sing this sad song about Tyre. Say this about Tyre. Tyre, you are the door to the seas. You are the merchant for many nations. You travel to many countries along the coast. This is what the Lord God says. Tyre, you think that you are so beautiful. You think you are perfectly beautiful. The Mediterranean Sea is the border around your city. Your builders made you perfectly beautiful, like the ships that sail from you. Your builders use cypress trees from the mountains of Sinir to make your planks. They use cedar trees from Lebanon to make your mast. They used oak trees from Bashan to make your oars. They used pine trees from Cyprus to make the cabin on your deck. They decorated that shelter with ivory. For your sail, they used colorful linen made in Egypt. That sail was your flag. The coverings over your cabin were blue and purple. They came from the coast of Cyprus. Men from Sidon and Arvid rowed your boats for you. Tyre, your wise men were the pilots on your ships. The elders and wise men from Byblos were on board to help put caulking between the boards on your ship. All the ships of the sea and their sailors came to trade and do business with you. Men from Persia, Lud, and Put were in your army. They were your men of war who hung their shields and helmets on your walls. They brought honor and glory to your city. Men from Arvid and Cilicia were guards standing on the wall around your city. Men from Gamad were in your towers. They hung their shields on the walls around your city and made your beauty complete. Tarshish was one of your best customers. They traded silver, iron, tin, and lead for all the wonderful things you sold. People in Greece, Turkey, and the area around the Black Sea traded with you. They traded slaves and bronze for the things you sold. People from the nation of Togarmah traded horses, war horses, and mules for the things you sold. The people of Rhodes traded with you. You sold your things in many places. People brought ivory tusk and ebony wood to pay you. Aram traded with you because you had so many good things. They traded emeralds, purple cloth, fine needlework, fine linen, coral, and rubies for the things you sold. The people in Judah and Israel traded with you. They paid for the things you sold with wheat, olives, early figs, honey, oil, and balm. Damascus was a good customer. They traded with you for the many wonderful things you had. They traded wine from Helbon and white wool for those things. Damascus traded wine from Uzal for the things you sold. They paid with wrought iron, cassia, and sugarcane. Dedan provided good business and traded with you for the saddle blankets and riding horses. Arabia and all the leaders of Kedar traded lambs, rams, and goats for your goods. The merchants of Sheba and Ramah traded with you. They traded all the best spices and every kind of precious stone and gold for your goods. Haran, Cana, Eden, and merchants of Sheba, Asher, and Kilmed traded with you. They paid with the finest clothing, blue cloth, cloth with fine needlework, rugs of many colors, and the strongest ropes. These are the things they traded with you. The ships from Tarshish carried the things you sold. Tyre, you were like one of those cargo ships. You were on the sea loaded with many riches. Your oarsmen rowed you far out to sea, but a powerful east wind will destroy your ship at sea. All your wealth will spill into the sea. Your wealth, the things you buy and sell, will spill into the sea. Your whole crew, sailors, pilots, and the men who put caulking between the boards on your ship, will spill into the sea. The merchants and soldiers in your city will all sink into the sea. That will happen on the day that you are destroyed. You send your merchants to faraway places. Those places will shake with fear when they hear your pilots cry. Your whole crew will jump ship. The sailors and pilots will jump ship and swim to the shore. They will be very sad about you. They will cry, throw dust on their heads, and roll in ashes. They will shave their heads for you. They will put on sackcloth. They will cry for you like someone crying for someone who died. And in their loud crying, they will sing this sad song about you. No one is like Tyre. Tyre is destroyed in the middle of the sea. Your merchants sailed across the seas. You satisfied many people with your great wealth and the things you sold. You made the kings of the earth rich. But now you are broken by the sea and by the deep waters. All the things you sell and all your people have fallen. All the people living on the coast are shocked about you. Their kings are terrified. Their faces show their shock. The merchants in other nations whistle about you. What happened to you will frighten people, because you were destroyed. You are gone forever. The word of the Lord came to me. He said, Son of man, say to the ruler of Tyre, this is what the Lord God says. You are very proud, and you say, I am a god. I sit on the seat of gods in the middle of the seas. But you are a man, not a god. You only think you are a god. You think you are wiser than Daniel, and no secret is hidden from you. Through your wisdom and understanding, you have gotten riches for yourself. And you put gold and silver in your treasuries. Through your great wisdom and trade, you have made your riches grow, and now you are proud because of those riches. So this is what the Lord God says. Tyre, you thought you were like a god. I will bring strangers to fight against you. They are most terrible among the nations. They will put out their swords and use them against the beautiful things your wisdom brought you. They will ruin your glory. They will bring you down to the grave. You will be like a sailor who died at sea. That person will kill you. Will you still say, I am a god? No. He will have you in his power. You will see that you are a man, not God. Strangers will treat you like a foreigner and kill you, because I gave the command. This is what the Lord God said. The word of the Lord came to me. He said, Son of man, sing this sad song about the king of Tyre. Say to him, this is what the Lord God says. You were the perfect man, so full of wisdom and perfectly handsome. You were in Eden, the garden of God. You had every precious stone, rubies, topaz, and diamonds, beryls, onyx, and jasper, sapphires, turquoise, and emeralds. And each of these stones was set in gold. You were given this beauty on the day you were created. God made you strong. You were one of the chosen cherubs who spread your wings over my throne. I put you on the holy mountain of God. You walked among the jewels that sparkled like fire. You were good and honest when I created you, but then you became evil. Your business brought you many riches, but they also put cruelty inside you, and you sinned. So I treated you like something unclean and threw you off the mountain of God. You were one of the chosen cherubs who spread your wings over my throne. But I forced you to leave the jewels that sparkled like fire. Your beauty made you proud. Your glory ruined your wisdom. So I threw you down to the ground, and now other kings stare at you. You did many wrong things. You were a very crooked merchant. In this way, you made the holy places unclean. So I brought fire from inside you. It burned you. You burned to ashes on the ground. Now everyone can see your shame. All the people in other nations were shocked about what happened to you. What happened to you will make people very afraid. You are finished. The word of the Lord came to me. He said, Son of man, look toward Sidon and speak for me against that place. Say, this is what the Lord God says. I am against you, Sidon. Your people will learn to respect me. I will punish Sidon. Then people will know that I am the Lord. Then they will learn that I am holy, and they will treat me that way. I will send disease and death to Sidon, and many people inside the city will die. Soldiers outside the city will kill many people. Then people will know that I am the Lord. Then the surrounding nations that hate Israel will no longer be stinging nettles and painful thorns, and they will know that I am the Lord God. This is what the Lord God said. I scattered the people of Israel among other nations, but I will gather the family of Israel together again. Then the nations will know that I am holy, and they will treat me that way. At that time, the people of Israel will live in their land. I gave that land to my servant Jacob. They will live safely in the land. They will build houses and plant vineyards. I will punish the nations around them that hated them. Then the people of Israel will live in safety, and they will know that I am the Lord their God. The famine was getting worse and worse in the city. By the 9th day of the 4th month, there was no more food for the common people in the city. Nebuchadnezzar's army finally broke through the city wall. That night, King Zedekiah and all his soldiers ran away. They used the secret gate that went through the double walls. It was by the king's garden. The enemy soldiers were all around the city, but Zedekiah and his men escaped on the road to the desert. The Babylonian army chased King Zedekiah and caught him near Jericho. All of Zedekiah's soldiers left him and ran away. The Babylonians took King Zedekiah to the king of Babylon at Riblah. The Babylonians decided to punish Zedekiah. They killed Zedekiah's son in front of him. Then they put out Zedekiah's eyes. They put chains on him and took him to Babylon. By the 9th day of the 4th month of that year, the hunger in the city was very bad. There was no food left for the people in the city to eat. On that day, the army of Babylon broke into Jerusalem. The soldiers of Jerusalem ran away. They left the city at night. They went through the gate between the two walls. That gate was near the king's garden. Even though the army of Babylon had surrounded the city, the soldiers of Jerusalem still ran away toward the desert. But the Babylonian army chased King Zedekiah and caught him on the plains of Jericho. All of Zedekiah's soldiers ran away. The army of Babylon captured King Zedekiah and took him to the king of Babylon, who was at the city of Riblah, in the land of Hamath. At Riblah, the king of Babylon announced his judgment on King Zedekiah. There at the town of Riblah, the king of Babylon killed Zedekiah's sons while Zedekiah watched. The king of Babylon also killed all the royal officials of Judah. Then the king of Babylon tore out Zedekiah's eyes. He put bronze chains on him and took him to Babylon. In Babylon he put Zedekiah into prison. He stayed in prison until the day he died. And on the 9th day of the 4th month in Zedekiah's 11th year, the wall of Jerusalem was broken through. Then all the royal officials of the king of Babylon came into the city of Jerusalem. They came in and sat down at the middle gate. These are the names of the officials: Nergal-Sharezer, the governor of the district of Shamgar, a very high official; Nebo-Sarsekim, another very high official, and various other important officials were there also. King Zedekiah of Judah saw the officials from Babylon, so he and the soldiers with him ran away. They left Jerusalem at night. They went out through the king's garden and out through the gate that was between the two walls. Then they went toward the desert. The Babylonian army chased Zedekiah and the soldiers with him. They caught up with Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. They captured Zedekiah and took him to King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar was at the town of Riblah in the land of Hamath. At that place, Nebuchadnezzar decided what to do to Zedekiah. There, at the town of Riblah, the king of Babylon killed Zedekiah's sons, and he killed all the royal officials of Judah while Zedekiah watched. Then Nebuchadnezzar tore out Zedekiah's eyes. He put bronze chains on Zedekiah and took him to Babylon. The army of Babylon set fire to the king's palace and the houses of the people of Jerusalem, and they broke down the walls of Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan was the commander of the king of Babylon's special guards. He took all the people who had surrendered to him, and all the people still in Jerusalem, and made them captives. He carried them away to Babylon. But Commander Nebuzaradan left behind some of the poor people of Judah who owned nothing. Nebuzaradan gave them vineyards and farmland in Judah.